The cold metal doors of the galactic hospital slid open with a low hiss. Inside, the hall was quiet, except for the soft hum of machines and the occasional clatter of metal trays. The hospital was known across the sector for handling unusual cases, but today, something unusual had arrived. A large Zelvian, wounded and groaning in pain. Its scales shimmered faintly under the fluorescent lights, but its massive body was twisted in ways that made even experienced alien medics uneasy. The aliens in the waiting area whispered among themselves. "No one can fix that," one hissed. "It's beyond help." In the center of the chaos stood the alien vet, tall and rigid, with multiple limbs folded neatly. "I cannot treat it," the vet said, its voice calm but firm. "Too dangerous. Its injuries lethal." The Zelvian let out a low, trembling roar. Its eyes, large and reflective, scanned the room with fear. It knew something was wrong, but it didn't understand that humans were now involved. From the far side of the hall, a human stepped forward. He moved slowly, not out of fear, but careful precision. His white coat swayed lightly as he walked. The other aliens looked at him with disbelief. Humans were rare in this sector, and even rarer as medics. Some snickered quietly. "What can a human do?" one whispered. "They can barely handle small pets on Earth, let alone a Zelvian." The human knelt beside the injured alien. He didn't make a sound. He didn't rush. He simply looked into the alien's eyes and whispered, "Easy, buddy. Easy." A ripple ran through the room. The alien's muscles twitched slightly. No one had seen that reaction before. The alien vet frowned. "Do you even understand Zelvian anatomy?" it asked sharply. The human didn't reply. He began to check the alien carefully. Hands steady, eyes observing every tiny detail. He noticed what the aliens had missed. A faint shimmer along the shoulder joint, a small tear in a muscle that could be life-threatening if left untreated. Minutes passed. The room was silent, save for the occasional hiss or whisper. The human worked with calm determination, adjusting the alien's position, checking vital signs, and applying gentle pressure where needed. He spoke softly, almost like telling a story. "Easy now. We're going to fix you," he murmured. Slowly. The alien relaxed its body, though pain still twisted its expression. It wasn't complete trust, but it was a start. The alien vet leaned closer, studying the human. Its multiple eyes narrowed. "You think you can fix this?" it asked, almost incredulous. "I don't think," the human replied simply. "I do." Something about that statement made the aliens around the room shift uncomfortably. Humans were different. They didn't rush or panic. They didn't see danger as a reason to back away. They just acted. The human began applying a special poultice, a mixture he had prepared carefully from earth medicine and local alien herbs. He had studied alien biology extensively, not because it was required, but because he cared. Every motion was deliberate, every touch precise. The Zelvian flinched occasionally, letting out low groans of discomfort. But each time, the human whispered to it, soft words it couldn't understand but somehow felt soothing. Slowly, the tension in the alien's massive body started to ease. Outside the room, more aliens gathered. They had never seen a human act this way. They whispered to each other, disbelief mixed with curiosity. Maybe this human can," one muttered, trailing off. Hours seemed to pass in minutes. The human didn't stop. He worked tirelessly, adjusting, supporting, and whispering. For a moment, the alien vet looked like it might intervene, but it paused, watching. Something in the human's calmness, his unwavering focus, was different. Finally, the Zelvian gave a long, low sigh. It wasn't fully healed, not yet, but the tension in its body had decreased. The groaning subsided into soft huffs. Its massive head leaned slightly toward the human, a gesture no alien had expected. The human smiled faintly. "See? Easy, buddy. You're stronger than you think." The alien vet's jaw tightened. For the first time, it seemed uncertain. The human didn't just treat wounds. He treated fear. He treated doubt. And the Zelvian responded. "Impossible!" the vet whispered under its breath. The human adjusted the alien's limbs again, checking vital signs. He noted every irregularity, every pulse, every flicker of muscle. It was meticulous, methodical, and somehow gentle. Outside the room, whispers turned into murmurs. Even other patients, waiting quietly, peeked inside. Humans were not known for handling creatures like this. They were underestimated, dismissed as fragile. Yet here was one, proving everyone wrong with calm hands and steady eyes. Minutes later, a small alarm sounded. The alien's heart rate spiked unexpectedly. The room tensed again. "It's too much," some alien shouted. "Pull back." The human didn't panic. He leaned closer, speaking softly. "Easy, buddy, breathe. You can do this. We can do this." He applied pressure at a critical point, adjusted the angle of the body, and in one careful motion, stabilized the alien's injury. Slowly, the heart rate began to normalize. The alien's body stopped trembling violently, and its breathing became steady. For a moment, silence fell. Then the Zelvian moved its massive head slightly, almost nodding. Its eyes, reflective and wide, focused fully on the human. It was recognition. It was trust. The alien vet took a step back, eyes wide. I have never seen this before," it admitted. The human finally stood, wiping his hands calmly. He looked around the room. "Sometimes," he said quietly, "you just need to stay calm and let them know you're not a threat." Whispers spread across the hospital. Other aliens looked at him with new respect, curiosity, even awe. The Zelvian companions, who had been hesitant at first, now watched with hope. That day, the human vet had not only treated a wound that others deemed impossible, but he had also done something more. He had proven that humans, in their quiet, persistent way, could achieve what others could not. And for the first time in that hospital, aliens began to wonder, maybe humans were different. Maybe humans could handle situations that others could not. The Zelvian let out a soft, almost purring sound. It didn't speak, not yet, but it didn't need to. Its eyes said enough. Trust, relief, and something else, curiosity. The human knelt once more, placing a gentle hand on the alien's head. "Easy, buddy," he whispered again. "You've got this. We've got this." Outside, the galactic hospital hummed with whispers. News would spread fast. A human vet had done what no alien could do. And somewhere deep inside the Zelvian, a seed of trust and perhaps friendship was planted. This was the beginning of something unexpected, something no one had predicted. The galaxy would take notice. And humans, quiet, underestimated, and relentless, would show that they were not just another species in the stars. The first part of the story ended here, but the ripple it created would carry far beyond the walls of that hospital. Every alien who had witnessed it would remember the calm, steady hands of the human vet, and the gentle whisper that had turned fear into hope. And somewhere in the back of the alien vet's mind, a single thought formed. Maybe humans are more than we ever believed. The sun had barely risen over the galactic city when the human vet returned to the hospital. He moved quietly, carrying a small satchel filled with instruments, powders, and herbs he had carefully prepared. The Zelvi was awake, but its massive body was still weak. The alien vet hovered nearby, watching with suspicion. "You really think you can handle this?" The alien asked, its voice low and cautious. "Even after what happened yesterday, this creature is fragile. One wrong move and..." The human simply shook his head. No guesses, just care and patience. His calm tone left the alien momentarily speechless. Inside the treatment room, the Zelvian stirred. Its large eyes reflected fear, pain, and confusion. It had never been treated like this before. Other vets approached with machines, scans, and strict protocols, but the human worked differently. He knelt beside the giant creature, placing his hands gently on its scales. "Easy, buddy," he whispered. "Let's take it slow." The alien vet narrowed its eyes. "Slow? We don't have time for slow. Its injuries are serious. Every moment counts." The human's gaze never wavered. Every moment counts, yes, but rushing won't help. He examined the Zelvian carefully, tracing the faint tear in the shoulder muscle, the subtle shift in the rib alignment, and the shallow, uneven breathing. Minutes passed in silence. The other aliens grew restless. Some whispered, doubting the human's methods. "He is just a human. He cannot manage this alone," one said. "His hands are small. Look at the size of the creature." But the human ignored them. He adjusted the creature's position, leaning closer. "Easy, buddy," he repeated, soft and steady. "We've got this." The Zelvian responded slightly. Its breathing slowed, its muscles loosened a little. Even the alien vet blinked, surprised. The human wasn't just treating injuries. He was calming fear, building trust. "Watch this," the human murmured to himself, almost under his breath. He lifted one massive claw carefully, applying gentle pressure to reduce swelling. The Zelvian flinched, then stopped resisting. Its eyes widened and a small shiver ran through its body. "Impossible," the alien vet whispered again. "No one has ever managed that without sedation." The human glanced at him and said softly, "Sometimes you don't need force. You need understanding." A faint murmur ran through the observation room. Other patients and medics were watching closely now. Humans had a reputation for ingenuity, yes, but calm control over a creature like this? That was unprecedented. Hours passed. The human methodically worked through each minor injury first, using techniques no alien had seen before. He combined soft touch, precise pressure points, and whispered encouragement. Every move was deliberate, every glance measured. Suddenly, the Zelvian twitched violently. Its massive body arched, knocking over a tray of instruments. Aliens shouted, urging the human to step back. The human didn't panic. He spoke softly, placing both hands on the Zelvian's massive shoulders. "Easy, buddy, easy. I'm right here." His calm energy seemed to flow into the creature. Gradually, the thrashing slowed. The Zelvian's breathing steadied. The alien vet shook its head in disbelief. "Your methods? I don't understand. You risked your own safety." The human smiled faintly. "Care isn't about risk. It's about focus and patience." As the day passed, the human moved to the next challenge. The Zelvian's injured leg. The fracture was complex, and alien tools seemed too crude for the delicate work required. The human used a combination of alien splints and soft human techniques to stabilize the limb. "Hold still, buddy. You're doing fine," he whispered. The Zelvian, exhausted but attentive, allowed him to work. Outside the room, whispers became more audible. Aliens began to gather, their curiosity growing. "He is amazing," one said quietly. "How does he know what to do?" Another shook its head. "He is human. Humans are unpredictable." The Zelvian companions watched, hesitant but hopeful. They had feared the worst when the alien vet refused treatment. Now, they saw a different approach, a different energy. Something in the human's calmness was contagious. Even the alien vet could not hide its awe. "He doesn't just treat, he understands," it muttered under its breath. Suddenly, a monitor beeped urgently. The Zelvian's vitals spiked unexpectedly. Its heart rate raced, and its massive body twitched again. Panic rippled through the room. "See? I told you," an alien shouted. "He can't handle this. It's too unstable." The human knelt closer, placing a reassuring hand on the Zelvian's chest. "Easy, buddy. We can do this. Breathe. Just breathe." His voice was a soft rhythm, almost hypnotic. Slowly, the creature's body responded. Its heartbeat slowed, its breathing became steady. The alien vet stepped back, silently watching. The human's technique was strange, almost alien in itself, yet effective. Every alien in the room could see it. The human worked tirelessly. He rotated the Zelvian gently, checked each wound, applied carefully prepared treatments, and whispered encouragement at every step. Time became irrelevant. Every minor success, every twitch of improvement, was a victory. By late afternoon, the Zelvian showed signs of recovery. Its breathing was steady. Its eyes followed the human wherever he moved. For the first time, it seemed to trust him completely. The human took a small step back, observing. "Not bad, buddy," he murmured. "We're getting there." The alien vet finally spoke, quietly this time. I never thought I'd see this. You are extraordinary." The human didn't respond. He returned to his careful work, undistracted. For him, it was just another patient, albeit one unlike any other he had ever treated. As the sun dipped behind the galactic towers, the Zelvian shifted its massive head toward the human. There was a faint gesture, almost like a nod. The human smiled faintly and whispered again, "Easy, buddy, we've got this." Outside, whispers turned into conversation. Aliens began to speculate, question, and even admire the human's methods. A new idea started forming in the minds of those who had doubted him. Humans were not weak. Humans were not fragile. They were different, yes, but in ways that could change outcomes that others deemed impossible. The Zelvians' companions, once fearful, now looked at the human with hope. Perhaps this species, underestimated and dismissed, could do what no one else could. As night fell over the galactic hospital, the human sat quietly beside the Zelvian. The massive creature rested its head on the floor, exhausted but stable. The human whispered softly, recounting small details, checking vitals, adjusting posture. Every movement was careful, precise, and gentle. Somewhere deep in the Zelvian's mind, a seed of trust was planted. Somewhere in the alien vet's mind, a seed of doubt and respect was born. The first challenge had been met. The Zelvian was stable for now, but the human knew this was only the beginning. Larger challenges awaited. More injuries, more complications, more skepticism from aliens who could not yet understand the human way. And yet, there was confidence. The human had proven something fundamental. Calm, focus, patience, and understanding could achieve what brute force, technology, or fear could not. The galaxy might not yet be ready to accept it, but the Zelvian, the human, and the few who had witnessed this moment knew the truth. Humans were unique, underestimated, and capable of things no one expected. That night, the human vet left the hospital quietly. The Zelvian rested, its body healing, its trust growing. The alien vet remained, staring at the scene with a mixture of amazement and unease. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. Complications might arise, but the first step had been taken. The human had shown that even in a galaxy full of advanced technology, creatures, and complex medicine, something simple, patience, care, and courage could turn the impossible into the possible. The ripple of this moment would carry far. Aliens would talk about it. Some would scoff, others would wonder. But one thing was certain. Humans were no longer to be underestimated. And in the quiet of the galactic night, a single thought lingered in every mind that had witnessed the humans' work. Perhaps we have judged them too quickly. The next morning, the hospital was alive with whispers. Word of the human vet's success had spread fast. Aliens who had once doubted him now watched closely, some with curiosity, others with quiet admiration. Even the alien vet seemed hesitant, as if it could not fully comprehend what had happened yesterday. The Zelvian remained weak but awake. Its massive body lay across the treatment bed, its eyes tracking every movement the human made. Other medics hovered at a distance, unsure whether to interfere or watch. The human entered the room carrying only a small satchel and his calm presence. He knelt beside the Zelvian, placing a gentle hand on its head. "Good morning, buddy," he whispered. "Let's see how you're feeling." The Zelvian shifted slightly, a low groan rumbling from its throat. It was not yet comfort, not yet full trust, but it was recognition. Its massive eyes followed the human's every movement, studying him carefully. The alien vet stepped closer, its voice sharp. "I still cannot understand how you connect with it. You're human. You should be cautious. One wrong move and I'll be careful," the human interrupted softly. His tone held no anger, only calm assurance. "It's not about strength. It's about trust." The Zelvian flinched at the word trust, as if it didn't fully understand, yet something in its eyes softened. The human's hands moved with gentle precision, adjusting the creature's injured shoulder. He whispered continuously, soft and rhythmic. The sound was strange but soothing, almost musical. Minutes passed. The alien vet watched silently, visibly conflicted. It had treated thousands of creatures, but had never witnessed something like this. Other aliens gathered near the observation glass, whispering in low tones. "Look at its reaction," one murmured. "It's calming down because of the human." "Impossible," another replied. "No one could do that, not without advanced sedation." The human leaned closer, his voice steady. "Easy, buddy, just breathe. We're together in this." The Zelvian's body twitched slightly, then relaxed a little. Its eyes blinked slowly, tracking the human's movements. The change was subtle but noticeable. It was the first sign of something deeper than healing, an emotional connection forming. The alien vet frowned. "I still don't understand," it whispered. "How does he do it? There's no technology, no advanced tools." The human glanced up briefly. Sometimes the best tools are patience and understanding. Suddenly, the Zelvian flinched violently. Its body arched, knocking over a small tray. Machines beeped urgently. Aliens shouted, urging the human to step back. The human remained calm. He placed a hand on the creature's massive chest, speaking softly. "Easy, buddy, we can handle this. Breathe. You're safe." Gradually, the Zelvian's muscles loosened. Its breathing steadied. The human adjusted its injured leg, whispering encouragement all the while. The room was silent now, save for the soft sounds of the Zelvian's movements and the human's calm voice. The alien vet stared, almost paralyzed. I cannot explain this," it muttered. "No one could calm it like this." The human smiled faintly. "It's not about explanation. It's about connection." By midday, the Zelvian began responding in ways that surprised even the human. It shifted its massive head closer, resting lightly against the human's shoulder. The gesture was small, but significant. The alien vet stepped back, its multiple eyes wide. It trusts you," it said softly, almost in awe. "Yes," the human whispered, "but it's still scared. We have a long way to go." The human continued his gentle care, checking each wound meticulously. He applied soft compresses, whispered encouragement, and adjusted the creature's posture carefully. The Zelvian remained still, watching, learning, slowly responding. Outside the room, whispers grew louder. Aliens had never seen a bond form so quickly between human and creature. Even skeptics were silent, unable to look away. Some began to murmur, "Humans, maybe they are different." As the afternoon sun shifted across the city, a new challenge emerged. A minor infection began to flare along the Zelvian's shoulder. Its massive body twitched in discomfort. Aliens panicked again. "You can't handle this. Step back." The human remained calm, placing his hand firmly but gently on the creature. "We'll fix it together. Stay calm, buddy. Trust me." He carefully cleaned the affected area, using a mixture of alien herbs and earth medicine. The Zelvian groaned softly, but did not resist. It seemed to sense that this human would not harm it, that he was patient and persistent. Hours passed. The infection slowed, the Zelvian's breathing steadied, and its muscles loosened. The alien vet observed, its skepticism slowly fading. Even other aliens watching through the observation window began to whisper admiringly. For the first time, the Zelvian made a small, deliberate gesture. It nudged the human's hand with its massive snout. The human smiled faintly and whispered, "Good job, buddy. You're doing great." The room seemed to change. The tension that filled the air was replaced with quiet respect and awe. The Zelvian, once frightened and tense, now leaned lightly against the human. It was not full trust yet, but was a bond forming, something deep in fear or instinct. The alien vet spoke softly, almost to itself. "I have never seen anything like this. A human connecting with a creature this way." The human continued his work, checking vitals, applying gentle treatment, and whispering soft encouragement. Each small movement reinforced the connection, the bond growing stronger. As night fell over the galactic city, the Zelvian lay quietly, its massive eyes focused on the human. The human knelt beside it, whispering softly, "Easy, buddy, you're stronger than you think. We're almost there." Outside, the hospital hummed with whispers and speculation. Aliens had witnessed something extraordinary. Humans, long underestimated, were showing a depth of skill, patience, and understanding that was rare even among advanced species. The Zelvian, once fearful and skeptical, now followed the human's instructions in small ways, shifting its weight, relaxing muscles, and responding to touch. The bond was subtle but undeniable. The human finally stood, stepping back to observe. He smiled faintly. "Good progress, buddy. Tomorrow we'll do even better." The alien vet remained silent, deep in thought. It had witnessed the impossible. A human forming a genuine bond with a creature no one else could calm. Respect, awe, and a hint of fear mingled in its expression. That night, the human left the hospital quietly. The Zelvian rested, its body healing, its trust growing. The ripple of this day would carry far beyond the walls of the hospital. Aliens would talk about it. Skeptics would reconsider. And somewhere deep inside the Zelvian, the understanding had taken root. This human was different. Different in ways no one had expected. Different in ways that could change the galaxy's perception of humans forever. The first bond had been formed. The first step toward trust, understanding, and something much greater. And the galaxy, unknowingly, was beginning to take notice. Tomorrow would bring new tests, new challenges, and perhaps dangers a human could not yet foresee. But one truth was clear. The Zelvian had chosen to trust him. And once trust was given, humans had a way of proving that no one, not alien, not machine, not fear itself, could break it. The night sky glimmered with distant stars as the human walked away from the hospital. His thoughts were simple, focused, and calm. One step at a time, easy buddy. One step at a time. Somewhere in the silence of galactic night, a new chapter of understanding had begun. And nothing, not fear, not doubt, not disbelief, could undo it. The following morning, the galactic hospital was unusually quiet. News of the human vet's previous success had spread like fire across the corridors. Aliens whispered in every corner, some filled with curiosity, others with disbelief. The Zelvian lay on the treatment bed, its massive form still weak but alert. The human vet entered quietly, carrying only a small satchel and a calm determination. His eyes scanned the room before settling on the injured creature. "Morning, buddy," he whispered. "Ready for today?" The Zelvian lifted its massive head slightly, eyes tracking him. There was no fear, only cautious awareness. The bond from the previous day had grown, but trust, while present, was still fragile. One wrong move could undo all progress. The alien vet watched from a distance, multiple eyes narrowed in suspicion. "You are taking a risk," it muttered. "One mistake, and it could die. You cannot control a creature this size without technology." The human knelt beside the Zelvian, gently placing a hand on its shoulder. "It's not control," he said softly. "It's cooperation." The Zelvian flinched slightly at the word, but did not resist. It seemed to understand, somehow, that the human meant no harm. The first challenge of the day was the Zelvian's fractured leg. The bone had shifted overnight, creating a risk of permanent damage. The alien vet frowned. "This is dangerous. You cannot stabilize it without machines." The human examined the leg carefully, noting every irregularity. He whispered encouragement, applying soft pressure in precise points. Slowly, the Zelvian's massive muscles began to relax. Suddenly, a tremor ran through the creature. Its tail lashed violently, knocking over a tray of instruments. Aliens shouted in panic. "Step back! Step back! It will strike!" The human remained calm. He adjusted his grip, speaking in soft tones. "Easy, buddy. I've got you. Just breathe." Minutes passed. The Zelvian's body shook less and less. Its breathing slowed, responding to the rhythm of the human's whispers. The alien vet's eyes widened. "I've never seen this." It's responding to voice and touch, not technology. The human leaned closer, hand steady. He repositioned the fractured leg carefully, applying soft splints made from alien alloys and earth materials. The Zelvian groaned in discomfort, but did not resist. "Good job, buddy," the human whispered. "Almost there, stay with me." Then came the unexpected. A sharp pain shot through the Zelvian's shoulder. It roared, thrashing violently. The human barely managed to hold on, keeping one hand on the creature's chest and the other stabilizing the injured limb. The alien vet froze. "I told you, it's too dangerous." The human didn't move. His voice remained soft, almost melodic. "Easy. I'm here. Breathe. Trust me." For a moment, nothing seemed to work. The Zelvian's massive body bucked violently. Machines beeped, alarms sounded. The room filled with tension. Aliens whispered fearfully, convinced a human could not survive this. Then, something remarkable happened. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the Zelvian began to relax. Its eyes, massive and reflective, locked onto the human's. The trust from yesterday, the subtle bond, held firm. It allowed the human to guide it, to stabilize the pain without force. Minutes later, the leg was secured. The shoulder wound was stabilized. The Zelvian lay still, panting softly. The human wiped sweat from his brow, his calm energy still radiating through the room. The alien vet took a hesitant step forward. I cannot believe it. You actually did it. The human glanced up briefly. It's not magic. It's understanding. Patience. Trust. The Zelvian's eyes followed him. It let out a low, almost purring sound, a signal of relief and recognition. For the first time, the alien vet witnessed something truly extraordinary. A human forming a genuine bond with a massive, wounded alien in a way no technology or force could achieve. But the turning point wasn't over. A sudden alert flashed on the monitoring system. A dangerous infection had spread to the Zelvian's torso. The room erupted in tension. Aliens shouted, backing away. It's too late. Pull back. The human didn't panic. He knelt beside the Zelvian again, placing both hands on its chest. Easy, buddy. I'm not leaving you. We can fight this together. He worked quickly, applying a mixture of alien herbal compounds and human antibiotics. The Zelvian shivered violently, muscles straining, but the human held firm. He whispered encouragement, moving with precision, adjusting pressure points and posture carefully. Hours passed. Every small success was hard-won. The Zelvian's body trembled with pain, but it did not resist. The bond had deepened. The creature now seemed to understand that the human's calmness was real, that his touch was safe. The alien vet observed silently, multiple eyes wide. This is not just treatment. It's connection, it murmured as the infection began to stabilize. The Zelvian shifted slightly, leaning its massive head against the human's shoulder. The gesture was simple but profound. The room grew quiet. The observers, who had doubted, whispered in awe. You see? The human murmured to the Zelvian. Easy, buddy. You're stronger than you think. We're almost through this. By nightfall, the Zelvian was stable. Its breathing was even, its injuries slowly improving. The alien vet approached, slowly, almost reverently. I underestimated you, it admitted. The human smiled faintly. It's not about me. It's about understanding and trust. Outside the treatment room, whispers had turned into a low murmur of excitement. Aliens shared stories of the human vet, who could calm the most dangerous creatures without technology. Some doubted, others were inspired. The Zelvian, exhausted but responsive, rested quietly, its massive body still but alert. The bond formed in these hours would not be broken. The human knelt beside it one last time for the night, whispering softly, Easy, buddy. Tomorrow we'll finish the recovery. As he left the hospital, the human felt the weight of the day, but also a quiet satisfaction. He had faced danger, uncertainty, and disbelief, and emerged victorious. Somewhere, deep in the alien vet's mind, a new understanding had taken root. Humans were underestimated. Humans were capable of what no alien could imagine. And the galaxy would have to notice. That night, the stars outside the hospital seemed to shine a little brighter. The human vet walked quietly, his steps calm and measured. Tomorrow would bring new tests, new challenges, but for now, he had proven something essential. Courage, patience, and understanding could achieve what technology and strength alone could not. And in the Zelvian's massive, reflective eyes, a silent acknowledgement remained. This human was not just a healer. He was something extraordinary. The next morning, the galactic hospital was buzzing. Word of the human vet's extraordinary skill had spread through every corridor, every ward, every observation deck. Aliens whispered to one another, their voices full of astonishment and curiosity. Some had come from distant sectors just to see the human who could heal the impossible. The Zelvian lay awake, its massive form calm, but still tender from the previous day's ordeal. Its scales shimmered faintly under the soft lights, reflecting its cautious awareness. The creature's eyes followed every movement, every shadow. It remembered the fear of injury, the pain of helplessness, and the unusual calm of the human who had cared for it. The human vet entered quietly, carrying a small satchel. He knelt beside the Zelvian, placing a gentle hand on its head. Morning, buddy, he whispered. Ready to finish this? The Zelvian lifted its massive head slightly. Its eyes reflected both wariness and curiosity. It seemed to understand that today would bring a final test, not of pain or fear, but of trust and understanding. The alien vet hovered nearby, its multiple eyes studying every move. "Are you certain you can finish this?" it asked softly. "Even now, complications can arise. One wrong step." The human shook his head calmly. "We've come too far to stop now. Let's do this together." The first task was checking the Zelvian's shoulder. The injury had stabilized but remained tender. The human applied a mixture of carefully prepared alien herbs and earth-based compounds. He whispered softly as he worked. "Easy, buddy, just relax." "Almost done." The Zelvian flinched slightly, but did not resist. Its trust was growing, slowly but surely. The alien vet watched silently, all replacing skepticism. Hours passed as the human meticulously checked each injury, adjusted posture, and applied treatments with precision. He whispered encouragement at every step, each word soft and rhythmic. The Zelvian's massive body remained still, responding to the calm energy that flowed from the human. Then came the final challenge. The Zelvian's fractured leg. It had been stabilized, but full mobility was uncertain. The alien vet stepped back, clearly worried. "It might not walk properly again," it muttered. "Even with machines, recovery is not guaranteed." The human smiled faintly. "We'll see about that." He positioned the Zelvian carefully, supporting its massive frame. He applied gentle pressure, guiding the leg into a natural alignment. The Zelvian groaned softly, muscles straining, but it did not resist. Slowly, ever so slowly, it shifted weight onto the leg. The alien vet's eyes widened. It's standing." The human whispered encouragement, holding the leg steady. "Good job, buddy. You got this. One step at a time." The Zelvian moved cautiously, testing its strength. One massive step, then another, its eyes locked on the human, and for the first time, a subtle gesture of acknowledgement, almost like a nod, was given. The room fell silent. Every alien observer, every medic, and every patient watched in awe. The human had not just healed a creature. They had formed a bond strong enough to guide it back to mobility. The alien vet stepped closer, its voice low and respectful. I have underestimated you. Humans, perhaps we have judged too quickly." The human smiled faintly, brushing his hands lightly over the Zelvian's massive scales. "It's not about judgment," he whispered. "It's about trust and care. That's all." Outside the treatment room, whispers spread rapidly. Aliens shared stories of the human vet, who could heal the most dangerous creatures, without machines, without force, just patience, focus, and understanding. Some doubted. Others were inspired. A new narrative about humans began to form in the galactic sectors. Humans were underestimated, yes, but capable of feats no one had imagined. The Zelvian's companions stepped closer, observing the final moments. One carefully reached out, a gesture of gratitude toward the human. The Zelvian responded subtly, nudging its massive head toward its companion, before turning fully toward the human once more. The human knelt, placing a gentle hand on the Zelvian's head. "Easy, buddy, you did it. You're strong, brave, and amazing. And we did this together." The alien vet's multiple eyes reflected awe. "Your way, your patience, your calm, it is unlike anything we've seen. Humans, you are extraordinary." The Zelvian let out a soft, low roar, a sound of relief, gratitude, and recognition. It had survived, healed, and formed a bond stronger than most species would ever achieve in a lifetime. The human stood, glancing around the room. "Sometimes, strength isn't measured by force," he said quietly. "It's measured by patience, understanding, and trust." The galactic hospital was silent for a moment, the weight of the day settling in. Aliens looked at one another, some nodding in reluctant respect, others whispering quietly. The story of a human vet would be retold across sectors for years. The Zelvian, fully aware now of its own safety and the human's care, shifted its massive body closer to the human one last time. It was not just healed, it was bonded. Its trust was complete. The human gently patted its shoulder. "We're done for now, buddy. Rest easy. Tomorrow is another day." Outside, the city hummed under the light of twin suns. News of a human vet's achievement had already spread, reaching sectors far beyond the hospital walls. Aliens began to reevaluate what they thought they knew about humans. The underestimation, the prejudice, they all began to fade. The Zelvians' companions watched with quiet admiration. One whispered, "This human, he is not like the others. He sees what we cannot see. He understands what we cannot understand." The alien vet, once skeptical, now approached the human with humility. "I owe you respect," it admitted. "You have shown us something we never expected. Humans, you are remarkable." The human simply nodded, his calm energy radiating reassurance. "We all have something to offer," he said softly. "Even the smallest gestures of care can create the strongest bonds." As night fell over the galactic city, the human left the hospital quietly. The Zelvian rested, its body fully recovering, its trust fully formed. The ripple of this day would extend far beyond the walls of the hospital. Aliens would talk, learn, and perhaps even change their understanding of humans forever. Somewhere in the galaxy, across countless sectors, whispers began to spread. Humans, quiet, underestimated, relentless, were capable of things no other species could imagine. And in the quiet of the Zelvians' massive eyes, a silent promise remained. A promise of trust, respect, and a bond that would endure long after the final treatment. The human vet's journey had not ended. It had only begun, but the galaxy had already begun to notice. Humans were no longer a species to underestimate. Their patience, courage, and understanding were a force all their own. The Zelvian shifted its massive head one final time toward the human, as if acknowledging not only the healing but the bond that had been formed. The human smiled faintly. "Easy, buddy, we've done it." Together, the alien vet stood quietly watching. Somewhere deep inside, it understood a truth it had not yet spoken aloud. Humans, so small, so underestimated, had a way of changing everything. The stars outside the hospital shone brighter that night, as if acknowledging the remarkable events that had taken place. A human, calm and determined, had achieved the impossible, and in doing so, had reminded every alien who witnessed it that sometimes patience, trust, and courage are the greatest powers in the galaxy. The Zelvian closed his eyes, resting fully for the first time in days. The human stepped back, his work complete, his presence a calm beacon of understanding. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. But for now, the bond remained unbroken, and the galaxy would never forget the day a human whispered, "Easy, buddy," and changed the lives of those around him forever.